tuning into 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. And we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. DA, it's all yours.
Kevin, thanks very much. In this era of player empowerment, no aspect is more important than their determination to make sure their voices are heard. As continued cases of social injustice come to light, they refuse to simply shut up and dribble, if you get my meaning. Instead, they're using their platform to affect change. Kevin, it's a movement among some very determined players.
Much needed indeed, David. Thank you. And a look at the recent power rankings. Some interesting stories here in the early part of December. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now, Chicago, they're obviously trending in a positive direction, but still working out some of those early season timing issues. But I have to say, I like what I'm seeing.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Markkanen and Carter are up front. White and Levine team up in the backcourt. And it's Porter in at the 3 slot. And for Cleveland, Sexton and Osman on the perimeter. Andre Drummond is out there with Kevin Love. And it's Garland in at the 1 spot. Greg, obviously, we're early on here. We already have seen some second-year players looking much more improved over their rookie year.
I mean, if you put in the work, you're not guessing as much. And listen, the fact that you now have gone through the season, you've got a better sense of who you are and what you can do out on the floor. I know I cut way back on my turnovers at the start of my second year, and you go into the offseason with specific goals and areas where you want to improve.
You think there's more growth between your first and second year than any other 2 years in your career?
You could make that case, no doubt about it, because that's you're still thinking you can be one of the all-time greats no matter who you are at that stage, and so you tend to put in a little more emphasis in terms of improvement.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. For Chicago, they won their last contest that game against the Knicks in New York.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
It was a total team effort in terms of passing the baton to the guy that's hot.
And the Bulls making a change here. Cornette's checked in. Here's Garland. Pass to Love. From deep. Connects from three-point range.
Defensively, you can't afford to let Kevin Love get his feet set and shoot it from out there. You want to force him off the line and make him put it on the floor.
And for years now, GA, Kevin Love, one of the better outside shooting big men in the game. He can really light it up.
I tell you, when Love gets it going, he is hard to slow down. Great on the catch and shoot. Hard to believe it wasn't a large part of his game until he was established in the NBA.
Sexton's shot is good.
Just a creative ball handler. Sexton does a really good job with his change of speeds and direction, keeping the defender off balance.
Levine finds Porter. Now Markkanen. On the wing, Porter. Last game he had 10 points. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Levine can't hit. Cleveland has come out of the gates quickly. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
And going back to last season, they really struggled for wins. And even against a team like this with comparable talent, they didn't manage one win in the season series.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Levine kicks to White. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here.
And here are the numbers for Kevin Love. He's coming off an excellent season. Last season put up about 17 points per, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. And I'm not sure he can play any better than he has. I mean, surprising a lot of people with his play here of late.
Therein lies the question. Has he reached a new level in his game, or is this just a hot streak that'll eventually cool down? We'll see.
Just 5 on the clock. For 3, Levine.
4 shots, 4 misses, and you can sense a certain frustration building.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Osman, the pass to Love. Love draws the double. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so here's Cleveland. 6 to shoot. Drummond finds Sexton. And again, it's Cleveland.
You see the game plan is working already. 4 straight makes to start this one.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And Coach can't like what he's seeing, trying to get them refocused.
It's so easy to get run over when you lose even a little edge. Look for them to come out much more aggressive.
You'd better keep your hands up if you've been playing with these guys over the past month, because if you're open, they'll find you. In the third spot, Darius Garland.
Really been in sync with his teammates over that period. I mean, his passing has been phenomenal.
Bulls trail by 10. Markkanen kicks to Levine. They need this. Andre Drummond grabs the miss.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Osman, the pass to Love. Back to Osman. That falls. Great assist by Love.
Oh, great ball movement there.
For Chicago, they've gone 0 of 5 here to start the game. Rough start for them. Outside, Markkanen. Passes it to Levine. And here's White. 11 points for him in that last game against the Knicks in New York. Porter, no luck. The Cavaliers leading by 12. Inside. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
They came in prepared, focused, and really jumped on the other team early.
And at last season's trade deadline, Andre Drummond traded away basically for a second-round pick. A shockingly low return for a guy who was once considered a franchise player.
Now, here's Sexton. Love dishes to Garland. And the pass to Drummond. Over Markkanen. Excellent D there from Markkanen. And Greg, why is it that the Pistons got so little in exchange for Drummond?
Well, I think he was an impending free agent. I think Detroit looking to rebuild. Also, it says something about the center position in today's game.
Good on the shot.
Terrific play in the paint by Kobe White. Uses his athleticism to find a shot.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. ends up going with the new group.
Taking a look now at some numbers for Dunn.
Some last season stats for him. He was around 7 points per, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
He understands his role. He accepts it. He's one of those guys who doesn't need the ball to be effective.
Now, here's Porter. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee.
And his shot blocking helped as well. Those 2 blocks he had were big for them.
Thompson against Dunn. Offensive rebound. Thompson with the bucket.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Thompson against Young. Feet away. Can't hit that one. And Cleveland the other way now. Sexton on the wing. Defended by Young. The shot by Sexton, no good. Last game for the Cavaliers, they picked up the W against the Bucks. Valentine passes to Hutchison. Sexton against Dunn. Beyond the arc, gets the three-pointer to fall.
An area where Dunn continues to work, improving his range, so the defense has to respect him out there.
And so it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And guys, the Cavaliers enjoying a nice lead here.
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
Looking at current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
Man, there's so many guys that, you know, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table, but in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, you know, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are three names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did. Taking a look at the Bulls, Young and Carter are the big men inside. Chris Dunn is out there with Thomas Satoransky, and it's Valentine in at the three, the small forward.
With Wendell Carter Jr., you love the do-it-all ability, the understanding of the game.
Carter hits them both. Oh my gosh, I just got that. Here's Sexton, coming off a stellar performance against Milwaukee. Outside, Porter. Here's Thompson. Lays it up off the glass. Thompson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
The unbelievable effort. Thompson, a dedicated warrior on the offensive glass.
And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They trail by 11.
And you can't help but see the impact Thompson has in the paint. On both ends of the floor, he's a rock planted near the rim. Very strong legs that help him get to so many of those rebounds.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
They get it back. Thompson can't get it to fall.
Shut down. This is the way you play defense. This is how you protect the rim.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Nance. And with Thompson, as you said, Greg, once he's planted in the paint, good luck.
I mean, think about it. About 40% of his rebounds are on the offensive end. He just refuses to get moved or boxed out. Combine that with his hunger on that end of the floor, and you see why he's such a great rebounder.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Harrison scanning the floor. Here's Young. A good finish at the rack off the slick feet.
One sign of a great playmaker, hitting his man in stride.
Garland kicks to Thompson. He dishes it to Porter. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. And here's what the Cavaliers' schedule looks like. On Thursday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. Then on Saturday, they'll head home to take on the Dallas Mavericks.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. So for the Bulls. Lowry Markkanen's checked in for Young. Dean comes in for Denzel Valentine. And it's White in for Chris Dunn. Both free throws good from Nance. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. White finds Levine. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Osman the pass to Drummond. Good on the bucket.
That's what 7 feet 280 will do for you. Takes the hit and keeps right on going.
Pass to Harrison. And White kicks to Harrison. Trying to get open is Carter. Second shot opportunity and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And Cleveland gets called for the foul. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
The first free throw is good. Greg, I think of you in a New York Knicks uniform, legendary arena you played in. What was that experience like?
Kevin, intense. I remember the first time I suited up in a preseason game. We played the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams went up and down the court 3 times and nobody scored, and the fans started booing. And that's when I knew this is a little bit different. You better bring your A game.
And thicker skin, correct?
That too, yeah. And fortunately, there was no social media or internet back then. Goodness gracious.
Left side, Porter. And Drummond throws it down.
The agile feet of Drummond. He's like a dancing bear out there. Nice roll off the pick.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. With the stoppage last season, the Bulls still became center stage after the release of the documentary The Last Dance, which covered their 6 titles with Michael Jordan in 8 seasons. There was record viewership, including most NBA players tuning in. Dynasties like those never lose their luster. Kevin?
Well said, D.A. Thanks. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
And the deep ball has come alive the last seasons for Zach LaVine. He set a Bulls record for made threes in a season last year.
And Greg, Zach LaVine continues to work and improve his shot, which has been fantastic. He not only trusts his shot at this point, but feel it's a strength now. He's more willing to look for jumpers in big possessions now.
The Cavaliers leading by 10. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Pass to Osman. Count it, good.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Bulls trail by 12. And White kicks to LaVine. Passes it to Cornette. Lets it go with a three. LaVine can't hit.
The struggle is real. He's been way off with his shot all evening long. You know what, though? They keep calling his number despite the difficult quarter he's had.
Now the pass to White. Porter looking it over. 6 on the shot clock, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Andre Drummond with the wingspan of 7'6". It's going to be hard to get it over him.
Timeout called, Cleveland.
And with Lauri Markkanen, the former 7th pick in the draft, you like him best when he's aggressive and looking for his own shot.
You're right, Greg. I like angry Lauri Markkanen because he's dangerous when he has that type of mindset. He needs to have that mentality of a #1 option, even if he's not one. That's when he's the most impactful on the floor.
Making a change here. Sexton's checked in. Chandler Hutchison, he's checked in for Chicago. Satoransky comes in for White. 1:30 left now here in the second. Knocked loose, and that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. The league's long-distance bombers are setting their sights on the three-point contest this season. Here are some of the early favorites to make up the field.
And I love the way the voting is shaping up, Kevin. We'll have an excellent contest if these are the shooters who are firing away on All-Star Weekend.
You look at LaVine. He's got a place in the three-point contest within his reach. I hope he makes it because I know how much this would mean to him to be a part of the event.
I mean, that's a good call, Kevin. He's the type of player that can really deliver on a stage like that. He'll be very dangerous if he ultimately gets in.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase this year. Some incredible shooters, that's for certain. We'll keep you updated as we find out more.
Yeah, I think we're in for a real treat. I think the increased importance of the three-point shot in today's game has really shined a light on the talent, precision, and really the wow factor of how these guys can drill the long ball.
Now, Cleveland moving it up. Launches the three. Here's Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Drummond is very active on the offensive glass. This is where he can pile up a lot of points.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Chicago shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And the first one drops. So for the Bulls, Wendell Carter, he's checked in for Lauri Markkanen. Young comes in for Otto Porter Jr., and it's done in for Zach LaVine. He doesn't get the second one.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Sexton against Satoransky. From 10 feet out, Sexton's shot is good. Sexton's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Adding to this lead, he's been dependable and consistent at the offensive end.
Satoransky looking around. Down low. Here's Carter. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
It's just one trip down the court, but you have to have short memory in this league or you won't last long.
And so it's Cleveland riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. From one Kevin to another, you guys were dominant in that first half and you have a big lead, but do you forget about that in the second half?
Oh, yeah. We got to treat it like a 0-0 game. I know we're going to stay in the locker room. We got to come out and win the third quarter. If we do that, we feel like we'll be okay. But like I said, this team is tough. We know they're capable of coming back.
Well, we'll see what happens, Kevin. Thanks. Now back to the other Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. It's Cleveland out on top at halftime. They have a 13-point lead. Kenny, how'd you feel about it?
There's been one thing that's made a difference in this game above all else: their control of the backboard. They put forth an amazing effort on the glass, and the rebounding numbers aren't even close, Ernie. That'll be something to keep an eye on in the second half. They will be very tough to contain if that continues.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Hasn't been pretty anywhere for them, but I point to their weak inside defense more than anything else. They didn't protect the rim at all, and it's cost them, Ernie.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. It's been quite a game for Colin Sexton.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
He's been very effective on the move, forcing the action, getting to his spots, and finishing plays.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Garland and Sexton man the backcourt. Ashman and Love are the forwards. And it's Drummond in at the center. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Pass to Porter. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Drummond's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Sexton's shot is good. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season.
Oh,
I was championship night. I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I was wired shut for 8 weeks. Didn't miss a game, but I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today. But, you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah. Got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall with my face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Let him decide whether to shoot it, whether to pass it. He's your catalyst right now.
And they pick up 2. Levine's got 5 points so far.
What body control from Zach LaVine. Terrific at keeping his composure even while under pressure.
Levine against Sexton. Here's the floater. It's deflected. Outside Levine. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. A shot off that time.
Shaky start to the half. Going 1 for 4. Still trying to find that groove.
Garland dishes to Drummond, and he drops it in from the low post. He's got 10.
Doing great things at the offensive end. 3 for 4 to start this half.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Outside Porter. Shot clock at 6. 14 feet away. White, good. White's got his second bucket of the night.
There's always been a level of savvy to Porter's game. Beautiful pass.
Timeout called, Cleveland. Different look now for Cleveland. Windler's checked in, and Porter subbed in for Garland. Harrison's checked in for the Bulls. And so Sexton will bring it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Up next for them is the Pacers in Indianapolis. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. To the inside, Windler. The basket good off the assist from Sexton. And the Cavaliers lead by 19.
Firing on all cylinders here in the third. Only one miss in 5 attempts.
Puts one up from 19. And it's White missing. For Cleveland, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. And the dunk by Love.
And how about Kevin Love showing he can get above the rim when he wants to.
Bulls trail by 21. Pass to Harrison. Outside Levine. And stolen by Drummond. And Sexton has it in the corner. Buries it from three-point range. Sexton's got 17 now.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Pass to Levine to end the run. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. And Love throws it down.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
It's been tremendous job of play calling and execution. They just continue to increase this lead.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Yeah, just looking to tighten up their defense in the paint. They've got to be better.
It's a matter of want to. Helping out, contesting shots. You have to want to make the effort.
Thompson, he's checked in for Andre Drummond, and it's Nance in for Kevin Love. So for the Bulls. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Satoransky, the pass to Cornette. To the paint, here's Young, and Young slams it home.
Skying high, one of his advantages as a undersized four.
And the Cavaliers with possession. They're on a 15-6 run. Sexton against Dunn. Thompson out of hand on it. Dunn outside. 1:09 left here in the third quarter. Young against Nance. Young inside, and a missed layup.
I'll tell you what, I think he thought that was going in. I sure did.
And stolen by Dunn. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Hutchison's shot is off. For Cleveland, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Porter dishes to Nance. Young against Porter. The pass to Windler. Clock at 6. Banked in off the glass. Windler's got 4 points this quarter.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
He was all alone on that one. Porter's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And there's the patience you want to see from Sexton. Eyes up and finds the open man.
Good if it goes. Offline. And so it's Cleveland, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We've got more in store for you right after this. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Whatever the offense requires, that has to be your mindset. Always thinking team first.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. We've got Valentine. He's out there with Dunn. And it's Young in at the 4. And that one's good. Osman.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Pass to Cornette. Greg, the NBA under Adam Silver has been aggressive, looking for ways to enhance the product and attract fans. Where do you fall on that point? Push the envelope, or don't rock the boat, or maybe somewhere in between?
I think it might be somewhere in between. These days, people's attentions can be pulled in so many different directions. I think they're smart to not rest on their laurels and to continue to try to evolve. But with that evolution, sometimes it's not going to come over as well as they would like. But I'm a fan of some of the experiments, I should say, that we've tried thus far, and I hope the league continues to push the envelope.
That's a good thought. For the Cavaliers, Zizic comes in for Thompson, and it's Bell in for Nance. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
Dellavedova with the ball. Pass to Zizic. There's the dish to Exum. Bell passes to Exum. Keeps it alive. Great positioning on the putback. Bell's got his first points of the night.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Done outside. Greg, you know, we're seeing players take control of their free agent destiny. Do players get a bad rap for that and switching teams?
Listen, I don't know if you get a bad rap, but you're going to catch the wrath of the fan base. You think of Paul George in Indy or KD in OKC, and fans, they're going to feel jilted. There's no doubt about it. They're going to feel scorned.
Yeah. So for the Bulls, Daniel Gafford's checked in for Young. And it's Shaquille Harrison in for Chandler Hutchison. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Dunn looking over the floor. The 11-footer. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And so it's Dellavedova. He'll bring it up for the Cavaliers. A great fourth quarter. Just giving up 2 points. An even 3-on-3 break. Here's Harrison. Defended by Dellavedova. Passes it to Zizic. Here's Osman. In transition, here come the Bulls. Now, here's Valentine. Defense right on him. Cavaliers have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Osman, the pass to Zizic. The layup missed. Bulls have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Harrison kicks to Cornette. Back to Harrison. You know, you look at the 2020 class for the Basketball Hall of Fame, Greg, some great names. Headlined by Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. I mean, historic players.
And all the more emotional, Kevin, having Kobe enshrined after his tragic passing. But when you look at the accomplishments of this class, arguably the most decorated that the Hall of Fame has ever seen.
And Greg, you've gotten a bird's eye view. You've gotten a front court view. You've had a chance to be alongside these Hall of Fame players.
Incredible talents, great people, and truly they've been terrific ambassadors for our game.
Here's Osman. Dunn covering. That's tipped. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Harrison passes to Dunn. And it's Zizic with the rebound. Cleveland's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And he banks in the layup. Zizic just got his first 2 points of the night.
So good at the rim. A slow defensive rotation leads to the easy lay.
Harrison kicks to Dunn. Over Dellavedova. No good off the back of the rim. And the Cavaliers with possession. They're on a 12-4 run. And there's the pass to Osman. A lot of talk about reseeding in the playoffs when you got down to the final 4 teams. If it ensures the 2 best teams make the finals, it would seem to me, Greg, to be worth it. What about you?
You know, it could be. I think about the worldwide attention on that championship round, but you got to get the Eastern Conference teams to sign off on that. And, you know, we've seen it happen in the past where the power shifts from one conference to the other. But ultimately, nothing better than seeing the 2 best teams play for it all.
Porter's checked in for Cleveland. Then for the Bulls, Chandler Hutchison comes in for Harrison, and Zedaransky subbed in for Dunn.
One shot.
Oh my gosh, I just got that.
1:02 left here in the fourth quarter.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Cleveland.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Andre Drummond.
Boy, such a big factor in the game tonight. His intensity on the boards. Even when guys put a body on him, he somehow still beats them to the ball.
And Kevin Porter Jr., all the issues you'd expect from a rookie, Greg. Unforced errors, a few too many fouls and turnovers. But as you and I were talking, and as the coaches told us, the upside is huge.
I tell you, Kev, his first step with the ball in his hands is incredible. Can burst by defenders like they're waiting at a bus stop. Once he matures, he's going to be a handful to deal with.
Pass to Zedaransky. Offensive rebound. Cornette off with the layup. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. It's blocked. Here's Zizic. The kick out to Porter. 4 on the clock. Tries again. Rebound by the Bulls. Here's Hutchison to the right side. Here's Valentine. That one doesn't go. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. With Dante Exum. Dante, still a young guy in this league. What do you want to focus on with your development?
I think it's just staying in the defensive end. Sometimes in the heat of the play, you kind of lose sight of it, and it's just about staying in there and just helping your teammates out. So,
a very young guy on a very good team. Thank you, Dante. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for being with us. See you later.